Hi kids, today we're going to remember how to find the prime factorization of numbers. For this, we're going to have 5 exercises. The first of them are small and easy numbers, and then we're going to see how to do it with big numbers for you to understand that the process is exactly the same. And I'm going to teach you a dividing technique that is going to help you do this process faster and easier. So, in order to find the prime factorization of a number, the first thing that you need to have really clear the first prime numbers. As you know, prime numbers are infinite, but here we have the first 7 prime numbers, which are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, and 17. I think that with this, we can manage most of the prime factorizations. So, remember that what we do when we work in prime factorization is we're going to find all the prime factors that we can multiply together to get to a specific number. So in this first example, we're going to think about all the prime factors that we can multiply together to get to 36. To do this, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to divide 36 as many times as we can until we get to a result of 1. Once we get to 1 as a result, that means we finished. So for this, we're only going to use prime numbers, the ones that we have on top in blue, to divide the 36. We're going to start in order. That means first we're going to start with the 2, then with the 3, then with the 5, the 7, and so on until we finish. So, 36, we have 36 here. Is 36 divisible by 2? As you know, in this, we can use divisibility rules. The divisibility rule of number 2 tells us that 36 is divisible by 2 because 36 is an even number because the last digit is even. That's why we're going to divide it in 2. That means that in front of the number, we put the number that we're going to use to divide. And below, we're going to put the answer. So 36 divided 2 is 18, okay? Let's imagine that you don't know what is 36 divided 2. Here is where my method becomes really important. So I'm going to ask myself, how many times the 2 fit in the 3? How many times 2 fit in 3? 2 fit in 3 one time. But that is not exact. 2 fit in 3 one time, but the division is not exact because 2 times 1 is 2 and we wanted to get to 3. So that's why we have one number left. That number that we have left, we put it here. And now that 6 is not a 6. That 6 is actually a 16. So then we ask ourselves, how many times 2 fit in 16? And 2 fit in 16 exactly 8 times. And as you see, we just did a very good division. 36 divided 2 is 18. Good. If you knew the result of the division before doing the process that I just taught you, that's very good. That's better. You just put it down and that's it. So we now have 18. Is 18 divisible by 2? Yes, because 18 is even. And we know the divisibility rule of number 2. So we're going to divide 18 divided 2, and 18 divided 2 is 9. Now, we're going to see, is 9 divisible by 2? It's not, right? So we're going to come back to our prime numbers, and we're going to jump to the next one, 3. Is 9 divisible by 3? Yes, so we put 3 here, and 9 divided 3 is 3. Now we have the 3. Is 3 divisible by 3? Yes, so we put the 3 here, and 3 divided 3 is 1. Remember that I told you that you finish once you get to 1? Well, this means that we already finished. So these numbers that I'm closing here, these are the result of the prime factorization. This means that the prime factorization of 36 is 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. If the question asks you to put the answer using powers, what you're going to do is you're going to do 2 to the power of 2 to the power of 2 times 3 to the power of 2. Why? The number below, the big number, the one that you put here, is this number, okay? So how many 2's do we have? We have 2 2's, and we have 2 3's. That's how you put it, okay? I know it's a little bit confusing, but that's why we're gonna do 4 more examples, so don't worry. In this moment, I will ask you to pause the video and try to do the 48 by yourself. Once you finish, you can play the video back to see if your result and your process are exactly the same as the one that we're gonna do now. Pause your video now. Okay, now that you finished, let's see if your answer is correct. So first I'm gonna erase this. Perfect. So 48. Is 48 divisible by 2? Yes, it is. So I'm going to put the 8 here. Sorry, the 2 here, because 48 is divisible by 2. 48 divided 2. Let's say that we don't know what the answer is. So let's use my trick to divide. My trick to divide is, how many times 2 fit in 4? 2 fit in 4, 2 times. And it's exact, right? Since it's exact, we don't have to take anything to the other number because that division is exact. Now, how many times 2 fit in 8? 2 fit in 8, 4 times. We finished. We already divided and it was super easy. Now, 24. Can we divide 24 into 2? Yes. So I put 2 here. 2 in 24. Let's do my trick. How many times 2 fit in 2? 2 fit in 2. 1 time. Nothing left. So I don't need to carry on anything. And 2 fit in 4. 2 times. So 24 divided 2 is 12. Can we continue using number 2? Yes. And 12 divided 2 is 6. As we can continue using number 2, I put it here. And 6 divided 2 is 3. And since we cannot use the 2 anymore, I jump to the next prime number. And 3 divided 3 is 1. We already finished. So the prime factorization, remember that are those numbers here. So we can write it as 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. Or we can write it as 2. Remember that the power tells you how many of those numbers do we have. So how many 2's do we have? We have 4 2's and we have 1 3. That's it. We finish. Let's go with one that is a little bit bigger, but it's still easy. Now, again, pause the video, try to do it, and then you get back to the video to see if your result was okay. Good. So let's do it now. 140. Is 140 divisible by 2? Yes, it is, because it's an even number. Look at the process of division. Once again, I know it's a little bit confusing, but the more we practice, the better we're going to understand. How many times the 2 fit in the 1? It doesn't fit. Since it doesn't fit, we're going to ask ourselves how many times the 2 fit in 14. And 2 fit in 14 7 times. Is exact, that means we don't need to carry on anything else. And 2 in 0 fits 0 times. That's why 140 divided 2 is 70. As 70 is even, we can divide it in 2 again. And once again, we're going to use the division trick. So how many times the 2 fit in 7? 2 in 7 fits 3 times. It's not exact. That means we have a remainder of 1. That 1 we put it here. And now that 0 that you see here is not a 0, it's a 10. And how many times 2 fit in 10? It fits 5 times. We already divided. 70 divided 2 is 35. Can we continue using number 2? No. So we jump to the next prime number, 3. The divisibility rule of number 3 says we need to add 5 plus 3. And 5 plus 3 is 8. Is 8 divisible by 3? No. That means we jump to the next number. The divisibility rule of number 5 tells us that the last digit needs to be 5 or 0. Since the last digit is 5, that means that we can divide into 5. And 35 divided 5 is 7. We cannot continue dividing by 5. That's why we jump to the next prime number, that is 7. We put it in front. And 7 divided 7, 1. We finished. So the answer can be 2 times 2 times 5 times 7. Or 2 to the power of 2, because we have 2 2's, times 5 times 7. Good. We already understand the basic of prime factorization. If you understand up to here, that means you're doing perfect. Now, the exercises that we're going to see now are superior and high level. And I wanted to see that it's exactly the same process as what we did on top. Okay, it's exactly the same. But here, we're going to use a lot the division trick that I just taught you. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to bring the prime numbers down so that we can see them super easy. And let's do the first one. 810. So as we know, it ends in 0. That means that is an even number, so we can divide into 2. Let's say we don't know what the answer is. So let's start using my trick. How many times did 2 fit in 8? 2 fit in 8, 4 times. Exact, so we have no remainder. Then we continue. How many times 2 fit in 1? 2 fit in 1, 0 times with a remainder of 1. How many times 2 fit in 10? 2 in 10 fits 5 times. We finished. You see, it's super easy to divide like this. It's fast, but it's about practice. Now, if you want, stop the video here and try to do the rest of the exercise. If not, just keep paying attention. Don't worry, I'm gonna continue explaining. So, we have 405. 405 is divisible by 2. No, because it's not even. So let's jump to the next number, 3. The divisibility rule of number 3 tells us that we need to add the digits and see if it's a multiple of 3. So 4 plus 0 is 4, plus 5 is 9. Is 9 a multiple of 3? Yes, so we actually can divide into 3. Let's do the division trick again. How many times the 3 fit in 4? The 3 fits in 4 one time. The result is not exact. We have a remainder of 1, which we put here. Now that's a 10. How many times the 3 fit in 10? The 3 fit in 10 3 times. Once again, it's not exact because it's 9, and we're trying to reach 10. So we have a remainder of 1, which we put here. And now we have 15. How many times 3 fit in 15? It fits 5 times. That's it. We already divided. If this division problem or if this division method is so difficult for you to understand, don't worry. You can always come back to your normal division problem. And as you see, 3 and 4 fits 1 time, which is 3. We subtract 1, bring the 10. 3 and 10 is 3, which is 9. We subtract, we bring down the 5. And 3 and 5 is 5, 15, 0. As you said, the result is exactly the same, 135, 135. That means you can use the method that you want. If you don't understand mine, that is faster, you can always come back to your normal division exercise, okay? Good. Let's continue. 135. Can we still divide by 3? I don't know. Let's do the addition to see if we can. 5 plus 3 is 8, plus 1 is 9. That means that we can divide by 3 because 9 is a multiple of 3. I put the 3 here, and let's start the division problem. 3 in 1 doesn't fit. That's why we're going to see how many times 3 fits in 13. And 3 in 13 fits 4 times, that is 12. That means that we have a remainder of 1, which we put here. And 3 in 15 fits 5 times. Good. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? Now, can we continue divide by 3? Yes, because 4 plus 5 is 9. So I divide by 3. 3 in 4 fits 1 time with a remainder of 1. And 3 in 15, 5 times. Can we continue dividing by 3? Yes. And 15 divided 3 is 5. 5, we cannot divide it by 3, so we jump to 5. And 5 divided 5, 1. We already finished. The result is 2 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 5. Or, using powers or exponents, it would be 2 times 3 to the power of 4, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4 threes, times 5. And that's it. We're finished. Now let's do the longest exercise. Again, if you use my division method, I think it's gonna be easier for you. So, let me erase the thing of the prime numbers so that we can start over. Let's go. 1,800 is divisible by 2 because if the number ends in 0, that means it's an even number. Let's use the division process. So 2 divided, how many times 2 fit in 1? It doesn't fit, so 2 in 18. 2 in 18 fits 9 times. And no remainder because it's exact. 2 in 0 fits 0, 2 in 0, 0. We already divided, super easy. Once again, try to pause the video so that you can challenge yourself to try to do it by yourself, and you come back when you finish to see if your result is the same. Go ahead, pause it now. Good, now that you finish. 900, is it divisible by 2 again? Yes, because it ends in 0, so I put the 2. Again, division process. How many times the 2 fit in 9? The 2 fits in 9 4 times, because 2 times 4 is 8. But we didn't get to 9. That means we have a remainder of 1. Now we have a 10. 2 in 10 fits 5 times. And no remainder, so we don't have to put anything else. And 2 in 0 fits 0 times. That means 900 divided 2 is 450. Now, if you knew the answer of that division before actually doing it, better. You don't have to waste your time doing the division if you already know the answer. If you don't know, you can use my trick, or remember that you can use traditional division method. It's up to you. Now, 450. We can divide it into 2 because it ends in 0. 2 in 4 fits 2 times, no remainder. 2 in 5 fits 2 times with remainder of 1. And 2 in 10 fits 5 times. Good. Can we continue dividing into 2? No, right? So we jump to 3. Can we divide into 3? Remember to use divisibility rules for this. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 5 is 9. That means that, yes, we can divide it into 3. 3 in 2 doesn't fit. That means we're going to take the 22. And 3 in 22 fits. Very good. 7 times, because 3 times 7 is 21. That means we have a remainder of 1, which we put here. And 3 in 15 fits 5 times. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Can we divide into 3? Yes, because 7 plus 5 is 12, and 12 is a multiple of 3. So I put the 3 here, and let's do the division. 3 in 7 fits 2 times. Since 3 times 2 is 6, and we were trying to get to 7, we have a remainder of 1. And 3 in 15, it's 5 times. Now we have 25. Is 25 divisible by 3? No, right? Because 2 plus 5 is 7. It's not a multiple of 3. So we jump to the next prime number, which is 5. And 25 is divisible by 5. And 25 divided 5 is 5. Once again, we can divide by 5. And the answer is 1. We finished. You see, you thought it was going to be super hard, and we did it in less than 2 minutes. So, look at this long answer. I'm going to write it here. 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 5 times 5. Try to write it down using powers or exponents, and then come back to the video and see if your answer is correct. The answer for this using powers must be 2 to the power of 3, because we have 3 2's, times 3 to the power of 2, we have 2 3's, and 5 to the power of 2, because we have 2 5's. Ladies, as you can see, we did here 5 exercises, some of them easier, which are the normal exercises that you're gonna see, and the last 2 a little bit harder, just for you to understand that we can do this with every number that we want, and we're always going to get to our result. Thank you very much for paying attention to this. Bye.